Hello everyone! Today I'm going to show you about a project that I call Collectible Minis. And it's so much fun. I wanted to do something that kind of would excite, some people. And these are just fun little things that some of our little people like to keep in their pockets. They are really fun to make. It's actually fun for anybody to make. So I am going to show you how to make a couple of these little guys. So here we go. This project is all about design. So you need to start with an idea and think of an idea being an umbrella for all of your little minis. So mine was just called Frog and Toadstool. I made a little logo for it. And this is something that you're going to want to do is do an inventory sheet. And then you're going to make your little commons. You'll make some semi-rares. Maybe you'll make some rares. It depends like which ones you want to do. So make your little picture. Get your little logo going. And then you can start to make your little guys. Whatever you come up with for this project, you want to make sure that they're fairly simple, especially for your commons, because you're going to be making a lot of those. Your semi-rares, you might make a couple of these. And your rares, you are going to make maybe one, maybe two. It depends on what you want in your collection. Okay, now the first thing I like to do, besides all the brainstorming, is to make a little pinch pot. So this is a super easy, fast little pinch pot, because you're going to need somewhere for your little guys to go into, and then you can just put this whole thing right into the kiln. Okay, so I'm going to start out with just a little piece of clay. You don't need a lot of clay for this at all. And just a few little instruments here, and anything works. Pencil tips are wonderful for this. So I'm going to start with making a coil. And I'll do a little mushroom for you. Now what makes these interesting too is that they have little faces on them. So I am just doing a little coil here, and I don't want it to be super thin coil. I want it to be thicker. So I'm going to do a couple cuts in my coil, and we want them to be the same size. So I just make a few cuts like this that are about the same size, and I'll have like maybe 3 ready to go. Okay, and for my little mushroom guys, all I do is I start to, with these guys, I roll the bottom of it a little bit. Okay, and I'm going to tap on the table. I use my fingers a lot to shape things, like I want to hold it in certain ways. And I tap on the table and just kind of mold this. So for this, I don't need as much. And I'm going to hold this and kind of roll on the tabletop. So you can see that these are super simple little shapes to make. And they're so easy that it's easy for me to make a bunch of them. So I'm just kind of rolling around the top like that. And I've actually got a pretty good mushroom shape as it is right there. Okay, so I'll make a few of these in the same fashion that I did. Probably don't need that much on top. Same fashion that I did. Get your idea down before you start to get the clay out. I always like to draw on paper before I do it, make my thumbnail sketches, have my plan and idea together. Alright, very simple mushroom shape. One's a little bigger than the other. We could take some off and redo a little bit since it's so simple, so easy. Just don't pick something with your collectibles. Don't pick something that's going to be difficult for you to replicate over and over for your commons. Commons are supposed to be able to be traded. You know, if you want to trade rares, these are super fun to trade. If you want to trade rares, you know, those are obviously a little more detailed. They're worth a little bit more. Okay, so here we go. I've got 2 of my little mushrooms going. All right, so I'm just going to take some of my tools here, and I want underneath the mushroom cap, I'm going to do just a little tiny detail, but I kind of like what's there already. So this is where use references for whatever you're doing. And of course, make up stuff as you go. I like to put little lines here. A couple little lines here and there. All right. And I'm going to make sure that they stand up. That's the one thing, like, hit it down on the table a couple of times. All right. Now I've got that. I do like to make little impressions. So these, I used the end of a tool that didn't have the end on it anymore. So that was a great circle. I'm going to use, for this one, I'm going to use the little print like this. So just put a couple here and there. Okay, and now I'm going to put some eyes on him, and he's almost done. So just roll a couple eyes. Couple eyes in my fingers, make sure you score. And the thing is, you don't want to have, for minis, you don't want to have little things sticking out everywhere. Make them so that you can hold them in your hand, and it is going to be like one solid piece. Okay. So I'm going to score these. It's good to have a little bit of water there. Goes right where my little eyeballs are going to go. Roll those on the table if you wanted to. Score, score, score. Scoring is just roughing up the surface and twisting on my eyeball a little bit. You don't want any of this stuff to fall off. This is definitely a piece, and there are lots of pieces where you are going to have it in your hands. A lot of times you're, you know, not touching artwork, but this is definitely artwork where you're touching. And they're super fun. You're going to want to touch it. Hold them. Okay. Make your eyes or your expressions, you know, however you want to do it. So with these, all I did was put little dots in the center, but maybe you want to change the expression on the face of the little thing that you're doing. All right, I'm just putting my little dots there. I like this little mushroom, keeping him like that. That's it. Okay, so one down. It only takes a couple moments, and then you can have all your little collection, and you can start trading. So do a nice little inventory sheet for yourself. Get yourself going with creativity and how you can make them a little bit different as you go, and have fun trading. See you next time. Thanks for watching.